Hello and happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you so very much for tuning in to 98.3 FM, The Life. You're listening to Bacon Bits with Master Happiness. And I'm your host, Marty Jalove. And I come at you every single Monday night at 7 o'clock to talk about your job, your career, your vision made clear, the skills that you hone for the business that you own, the ups and downs, the smiles and frowns, where you're at and where you're bound. If you miss any of today's episodes, don't worry about it. Just give me a couple days to get the recording up there, and you can listen to the entire repeat anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you're a regular member of the show, if you listen a lot, you will know our returning guest, a good friend of mine, quickly became a good friend of mine. Just love this woman. She is loaded with happiness. It is Bette Lawrence-Water, and she is, now let me see if I'm going to make sure I get this right. She is, I'm going to call her a happiness coach at Benedictine College, correct?
Well, I'm a public health lecturer at Benedictine.
All right.
But I have been a happiness coach, certified happiness coach for the Happiness Institute.
Fantastic. I'm loving it. Tell us a little bit about the Happiness Institute. What can you tell us about that?
It teaches people to coach others on being happier, to contribute to their overall health. I think this institute started about 2007, though I've only been a part of it for the last 2 years. But it follows along with all the research that has been done on happiness and longevity.
I love
health.
It. Where is it held out of? Where is it located?
It's located in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay. Nice. So, it's interesting because I think one of the things that as happy people, we always have to be looking for other ways to find some joy, some other happiness. So I listened to a podcast all based on happiness. It's a podcast called Office Hours with Arthur Brooks. All right. And I just want to tell people that if you don't get enough of this happiness show, look up the Happiness Institute, look up Office Hours with Arthur Brooks, because you're going to get so much information. I can't believe how much, and we've talked about it before, and we'll talk about it even more today, about the more you concentrate on happiness and pursue happiness and go out of your way to find happiness and joy and bring happiness and joy to more people, the more you do that, the more happiness comes your way, right?
Exactly. You can never spread too much of it.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yes. And we've spent a lot of time, our first 2 segments on happiness.
Yes.
I feel like we need about 6.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to talk about, and it's hard to get it all into the one happy hour.
You guys are the ones driving 18 hours to get here. So we're gonna have to look at some more dates because we definitely need you back here. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So as you can see, for those people watching us on YouTube or Twitch or wherever, you don't normally see me in a t-shirt and a baseball cap, especially. Everyone is like, when I put this on the first time, everyone I know is like, you don't wear a cap. But I have to wear this one. This is it's about be happy. And the shirt says, do the things that make you happy. And these were gifts from Bette on the last show. So thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's that type of stuff, those little things about how to spread joy. I think the whole idea of gift giving is so cool because I set myself up in this position where I don't expect gifts from anybody. Okay. And in fact, on holidays and stuff, I tell my kids and stuff, you don't have to get me anything. Don't worry about it. Save your money. If I want something, I'll go buy it. Right. And so every once in a while, if I get something that's really special, really thought out, it just means a whole lot to me. So thank you, Bette.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the Bible does say it's better to give than to receive.
There you go. So. There you go. I love giving too. So and so I got to receive everyone. So I'm just enjoying receiving just so that you can give. Okay, right. That's the kind of giver I am.
That sounds like a winner.
So this is part 3 of this 3-parts series we've been doing on happiness. And today we're talking about sustaining happiness every day. All right. It's just constantly moving forward with it. And, we talked a little bit about how you can find it. What are the obstacles that get in our way? And today is once you've kind of learned that and realized that I'm willing to fight for happiness, how do you sustain it? Okay. All right. And I'm going to throw it to you in a moment, but it's for those people who kind of are unclear on what we mean by this, it's kind of like this. If you go to the gym because you want to work out, you want to develop some muscle, you want to be healthier, you also have to sustain that. You have to continue to go to the gym. You have to continue to eat right and and do those types of things to keep you at that level that you want to be at, or at the level you want to grow to. You have to keep practicing, work out that muscle. And happiness, I always view it as a muscle itself. And we've got to exercise it, push on it, concentrate on it, making sure that we're chasing after it, okay, and enjoying the chase, not just the result of it. So with that, I'm going to throw it back to you because I see, Betty, you got notes in front of you. You're anxious to start talking. Go for it. Go for it.
I tell you, we need more sessions.
I like it. I like it.
I like to think that happiness isn't a mood.
Okay.
It isn't just a feeling. Happiness is a practice. And whether you practice being happy from within or happy from without, making other people happy, you have to plan for it. You have to schedule it. Be determined that today I'm going to be happy. When you wake up in the morning, I'm going to make this a happy day.
Yeah.
And practice that. Promise yourself that you will.
I love that 100%.
And you don't have to start with big things, but just little things. Like we were saying, buy someone a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I love that.
Smile at someone that you meet on the street. Let someone in when you're in traffic and nobody's letting.
I like it.
Good person. Make them happy.
I love it.
Space. Let them in. And you'd be surprised the impact that has on your psyche as well.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know what I want to do is I want to jump into the bacon. The reason the show is called Bacon Bits is because we use bacon as kind of an acronym, because the show is not about the bacon for chewing. You don't remember the line. Wow, Betty, you let me down. That's all right. It's not about the bacon for chewing.
It's the bacon for doing.
Nice. All right. You got it. Awesome. Thank you. Look at this. That was my gift today. You remembered the line. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the acronym BACON as a loose outline of what I'd like to talk about today. So this whole idea of how sustaining happiness, the B stands for build daily happiness habits. Okay. Do you like that one so far, Betty?
I do.
All right. So build daily happiness habits. A is align your life with your values. Okay. And I think this is really, really important that we learn how to do this. C is create a happiness toolkit. And I'm sure you've got a whole bunch of stuff of those little things. You already mentioned a few. That's why I wanted to jump into this. So C is create a happiness toolkit. O is observe life's ups and downs without losing yourself. And then finally, N is going to be nurture meaningful connections. All right. So with that, I want to jump right into this whole thing about build daily happiness habits, because you started with that right away. So I want to throw it back to you. What are some of the habits that you do or that you coach people on to be happy?
Okay, I am a big proponent of waking up happy. I want to feel this life is a gift. The fact that I am awake this morning and I am able to look out of my window and see the world again, that makes me happy.
I'll say, yeah.
But I have something funny I want to share with you.
Share away.
My husband told me this joke. He says that the optimist, someone who's looking forward to happiness that day, wakes up in the morning. Oh, I'm awake. They climb happily out of bed.
Okay.
They go over to the window and they blissfully raise the shades and they look out and they say, my God, it's a good morning. The pessimist, on the other hand, the one we want to avoid.
Right.
Dreads getting up. The clock goes, oh God, I got to make another day. I got to go through another day to go to the job, and I got to see these people again. Miserable.
Yeah.
That person says, I wrote down the punchline. They say, good Lord, it's morning. The optimist says, Good Lord, it's morning. The pessimist says, good Lord, it's morning.
Nice. I love it. I love it. I love
George
it.
to thank for that.
Yes, there we go. Next time we're going to have George tell his own joke.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I want to get into this, the daily habits. And I agree with you. It's got to start first thing in the morning.
Mhm.
It's that very first thing when you wake up. Set the mood for the day. If you wake up saying, "Oh, I got to go to work today," that whole idea, you're already setting your day up for a chance of failure.
Yeah.
Instead, like you said, you open your eyes, the sun is shining. Even if I open my eyes and it's dark out, let's say it's the middle of winter, I'm still going to go, "Oh, does that mean I get some more sleep?" Something, but the most important thing is you wake up and you say, "Hey, I'm on this side of the grass."
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah. So there is always something to be a little thankful for. So start out the day with intention. Say something. Lay in bed just a couple seconds more and just say what I'm thankful for, something I'm grateful for, something that had happened yesterday, something maybe you're looking forward to today.
I'd also like to suggest that you take a deep breath. Maybe
Definitely.
take 3 or 4 of them and just breathe in that oxygen. And as you're breathing it in, have a positive affirmation solely for yourself.
Yep.
Where you're telling your subconscious mind that today is going to be a good day and I'm going to make someone happy,
I love
even
it.
if it's myself.
I love it. That's perfect.
Yes,
You got to do that. And I think what you got to do is you got to take just that little bit of time first thing in the morning, like you said, for yourself, right? And too often, what do? The phone is next to us. We're using our phone as an alarm clock. It goes off. We pick up the phone, walk into the bathroom with the phone, start flipping through social media.
Yep.
And what are we usually doing on social media? We're looking what other people are doing and we're comparing our life to theirs.
Exactly.
Right? And so it's a terrible way. Understand that social media is going to be there later too, right? So why not in the beginning just say, I just want a little bit of me time. I want 30 seconds, a minute even. Just me. Look in the mirror. I always joked about this. My brother-in-law used to say this the thing all the time. He'd like look in the mirror, or when you greet him, he was like, "Oh my God, I'm looking forward to tomorrow," all the time. And you say, "Why?" And he'd say, "Because I'm getting better looking every day." And I love that attitude. Okay. And it was that was his ongoing gag, his ongoing joke. And it was so much because I'd fall for it all the time because he'd go, "I'm looking forward to tomorrow,"
Absolutely.
But that's the right attitude in life. And I think you should look in the mirror. All right. Of course, not everyone's as pretty as you and I are, Betty, but most people are. Look in the mirror and say, look at this. Look at how happy I can be. Right.
Yeah.
And if you're like, "Oh, but those people not those people are better than me." Remember, if you need to compare yourself to the people who are worse off than you.
Exactly.
Help those people, but don't compare yourself to the people who are better than you and say, "I wish I was there. Life is unfair." Don't start your day like that.
Too many of us do that.
My gosh. Yeah.
We see a lot on social media that causes us to compare ourselves to other people and what they're doing.
Right.
Realizing that a lot of it's puffery anyway.
Yep.
It's, everybody's building themselves up to look really good.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we have to get beyond that. Otherwise, we will be perpetually unhappy because we won't be able to catch up.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things I do like about social media now that's been popping up more and more in my feed is those things that come up and say, "Hey, 10 years ago on this date, here's a picture of you." Yeah. And now it's like, post it again of this is where you were. What are you doing now? And I think it's cool. Not that I post anything like that often, but I like seeing those things because it's a picture of me from the past and I'm smiling into the camera.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of the things I look at. And I go, "Oh, I went on a bike ride that day. Oh, I was playing miniature golf. Oh, I went out to dinner with friends that day." Those pictures, it reminds me of the things I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
So that is such a positive. We beat up on social media so often saying it hurts happiness, but there are certain things that it does also to really reignite us. And so it's up to us on what it is we're going to concentrate our time on. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, asked me what I do in the morning.
Yeah.
I told you I take deep breaths. I make myself determined to be happy.
Nice.
or to make someone else happy.
There you
But
go.
another thing I love to do, my me time in the morning, before anybody gets up, before the cats, before my husband, the house is quiet. I love to write poetry.
Very nice.
And I love to write in my journal. I've been having a really tough 2 or 3 years with a sick family member. But when I write, it's like a release to me. And that makes me feel happier.
Beautiful.
I'm getting it out there, and I have something to compare a month ago, 6 months ago, with where I was at that time and how happy I am now.
Gotcha.
Where I am now.
Gotcha. So I'll tell you here, the ritual I start my day with, if depending on if I get up first or my wife gets up first, but let's assume that I'm getting up first, although it happens in reverse more often. But anyway, so I get up first, I feed the cat, make coffee, right? And I'm making enough coffee, because then she's going to come downstairs. I want to make sure she's got coffee. Even if I'm running out, even if I've only got a few minutes, I got to run out. Even if I'm not going to have the coffee, I make the coffee so that when she comes down, it's made for her. But if I'm at home and I don't have any early meeting, make the coffee, I sit down at the kitchen table waiting for it to be done, and then I open up the phone and I play 3 games, and the New York Time games, the Wordle game, Connections and Strands. And I play this because I'm in a small group with my daughter, Katie, my son, Luke, and my other daughter, Lauren. And so it's so cool. And my brother, Joe. I'm sorry, I almost forgot you, Joe. But it's, yeah, exactly. And so it's so cool to be able to do that and play that, and then share the points. And even if they don't play again, to me, it's that moment, that brief moment in the morning, that it's my way of saying, hey, I just want to say hi to you. Good morning to you. All right. Have my coffee, finish those 3 games, and then end up going back to the computer and back to work. But it's a great way to start the day because it's my way of saying, it's passing along a hug to those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more thing I love to do, and it's so precious to me. I do it no matter how I feel. I give my husband breakfast in bed every morning.
Oh, wow.
And with that, I share a poem that I've written for him that morning.
Yeah.
And it's so, if I'm out of town, I'm running late and I don't have time to do it, there's just this emptiness I feel.
Oh, I know
because
that.
I didn't do it. And he loves it. We get our day off to a good start.
Right.
And this has been going on for years.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I take it, cook it, put it on a tray. I take it right to him in bed.
Right. I love when we have little habits or little things that seem inconsequential, right?
Yeah.
And they don't seem like anything to anyone else. But when we don't do them, especially something like you're saying, it's a tribute to the other person. It's something we're doing for that other person. And when we forget or we can't, something pulls us away. I think it's so meaningful because it hurts us, right?
Yeah.
It bothers you when you're away and you can't do that. That simple thing.
Exactly. And then the promise I made to myself about making someone happy, at least I can check one of those off.
Nice, exactly. Yeah, but he seems like a pretty happy guy all the time.
Skip, he's very happy.
Exactly. I'm sure, right? So another one of these things of an example of this build daily happiness habits is we make time throughout our entire day for all the things that we're saying are urgent and important, right? We make time for work. We have to take a break for lunch. We make time to answer emails, all this kind of stuff. And I think that we have to make time for joy every day. Set it aside and say, I'm going to spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a half an hour, whatever it is, to say it's beyond me time. It's bringing some joy to me. I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to just be alone. I'm going to watch something funny on TV, but just something that's going to bring you some joy. And I think we have to schedule it, because we schedule all these other things, and nowhere, when people make their block schedules, right?
Yeah.
And they go, this is my whole day. All right, I've got to do this. I've got to go grocery shopping. I've got to go and do this. I've got to go to work. I've got to answer these emails. I got to come back, cook dinner. I got to clean, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, I'm describing my wife. Okay. But, I want her to then take a moment and say, and then at this time, from this time to this time, I promise myself some time to for myself. And it's so cool because I see her and she's sitting there crocheting. She loves to crochet. She loves it.
Me too.
She is so good at it. And then she listens to an audiobook. And it's just her way of sitting there. That's the escape from the world. And I think that's so beautiful. And everyone needs that thing. Every day, promise yourself that. Don't say, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. No, we're talking about building that happipiness muscle. So you've got to work on something every day.
And it increases the neuroplasticity of the brain when you're doing positive things.
Yeah.
Like that. You're emitting those, producing the good hormones that keep your brain alive and your body feeling great.
Right. And you're right, because what it's doing is it's man, the computer went a little crazy there for a second.
It's
anyway,
the energy.
Exactly. It's so much energy. No, it's I agree with you. You've got to continue to do that, and it changes you. Plenty of people can understand and they can see this and believe the idea that smiling on purpose will trick your brain into saying, oh, there's something I should be happy about. And your brain becomes happier. And then suddenly you are smiling on purpose. So it's do things, whether you believe they're helping you or not, just do things that, even if they don't bring you joy at the moment, do the things that you know could bring you joy.
Exactly.
Okay. Because you'll start tricking yourself into being joyful and happy. And that's the important part. It's step by step, little by little. We're flooded with so many things that make us angry, right? So many things that sadden us, things to be afraid of, right? Just push for that happiness. That's what's so important. So in order, this show, I don't want to dwell on the same kinds of things we always talk about, but this is about sustaining happiness. This is what it is. We've in the past 2 shows, we talked about how to gain happiness. We talked about the things that get in our way. Now it's saying, if you bought into that, if you believe that, and you're fighting for happiness, today is how you sustain that. So I'm looking, we're getting close to the bottom of the hour, but plenty of time here. I want to jump into A, which is align your life with your values. Okay. And before I jump into this, because I'm really big into helping people list their values. Okay. Not what they're valued, or I value this friendship, or I value, I got this ham for dinner and it was a great value. Not that. We're talking about the values, the things, the guardrails in our life that keep us on the straight and narrow, the things that we say, I will not break this. I won't cross this line. Okay. So what are your thoughts on aligning your life with your values?
I totally agree with that, because if you're in misalignment, you're out of balance. You're out of sync.
Right.
And if you find that the activities that you're doing in your day are not aligned with your values,
yes,
you need to work at that.
Yes.
Change that, and you'll feel a lot better about yourself.
Right.
And you'll be achieving happiness at the same time. Now, so just make sure when you've got your to-do list or your check-off list, make sure that they're tied in with the values that you hold dear.
I agree.
And for me, my values run the gamut, but some of the main ones are being trustworthiness, honesty, compassion, respect.
Nice.
And in most of the things that I do, I'm making sure that I'm on track to fulfill and display those values.
Sure.
To keep me where I need to be.
I love it. So the easiest way for me to explain it to somebody who's like, I'm still not exactly sure what you mean, is let's say that your values lead you to a certain way that you don't appreciate certain type of humor, certain jokes, whether they be, jokes that are making fun of somebody, whether it's class, religion, sex, whatever. If you just don't appreciate those, because that's part of who you are, is not to say you're above that, but that's not the direction you go into. And then when you sit there and you hang out with people who are making those jokes and you pretend to laugh, okay, or then you suddenly join in to make them happy, you're violating your own values.
Exactly.
You're better off just staying away from that and going, I could see how you might think that's funny, but it's not my type of humor. And just leave it like that.
Exactly.
And if they're good friends, they'll understand that. Okay.
Or rather than commenting on it, I have a good friend. She's deceased now, but she was telling me she was at a party once and everybody was making these off-color jokes.
Right.
And the guy that was a leader of the pack said to her, I'll just use this name.
Yeah, sure.
Irma.
Okay.
You're not laughing. And she says, maybe it's because I didn't find anything you said to be funny.
Oof, yeah.
And that let them know right then and there that she had a certain boundary line.
Sure.
She didn't call out anyone in particular, but she talked about how she felt. She didn't find anything that they said to be funny.
I like the way that was put, because it's like, I felt this way.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say all of you should stop doing that. That's wrong. She didn't reprimand them. She just said, this is me. I did not find that funny. In other words, it was kind of like, if you want to continue, don't expect me to laugh.
Exactly.
Okay. So I do kind of like that. I wanted to touch on this thing because you brought up the idea of a friend. Is recently I read something about Aristotle. I love Aristotle, so much of the things that in his teachings. And one of the things is he broke down friends, and he said, you have 3 different types of friends. Okay. And I really, really like this, because over time, what I did was then I started thinking about it, and I started categorizing the friends I have. And you realize that they fall into those buckets. Now, some are, it's a blur. They fall in between, 2 of them, right? So the first bucket is utility friends. Okay. Those are the people that you are thrust upon. Maybe you work together, and it's because of that you become like acquaintances and friends and that. But you know that if the work ends, if one of you quit, your chances are you're not going to see them anymore. It was the utility of the maybe they're church friends. You only know them in church, right? It's something brings you together, and that's enough to make you friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next is pleasure friends. These are the friends that you just know you're going to have such a good time with. You laugh with them. You smile with them. You just like being around them. You kid each other. And those are the ones that it's just when you're down, you look for that person, right? You call them up and say, hey, you want to get together? Okay, because they're going to make you feel good, right? You do maybe little tasks with them. You work with them. You do the outside stuff. Maybe they're the neighbors and stuff like that you can hang out with, and you can laugh with them. The next one, the third friend, is the values friend. And this is the friend that you can cry on their shoulder. This is the friend that you can call and say, things are really bugging me. I'm hurt. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just need a hug. I need an ear. I don't need you to say anything. I just need you to hear me out. Okay. And when you think about that, it's those utility friends, the friends you have at work and stuff like that. When something's really hurting you deep inside, you don't go to them with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not their purpose in life. That's not their purpose to be part of your life. Their purpose is to be there at that moment to keep you going. They're the little bit of fuel in your vehicle every day. Then you've got the pleasure friends, who are the reason. It's the goals for you, the direction you want to go in. And it's like, this is what I want to do. This is why I'm working. This is why I'm doing this, because I want to spend time with those people, because life is great, right? And then you've got the values friends when life is not so great, or when you want to have a deep conversation, just something more. You're confused. You want to grow, something like that. And you just need someone close. And that is those values friends, where you find people who can share the same values you do, even unspoken. You don't list them. And I'll tell you, one of the luckiest things about me is that reading through this and understanding this, I went through all my friends, even family, and I said, oh, that person's in this bucket, that person's in this bucket, that person's in this bucket. And there's a couple people that jump back and forth between 2, but I'm married to Christy, and Christy is the person who's in all 3 of those buckets for me. Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. What a beautiful thought. I love that.
And I think it's because she's there with me. She is like, we bump into each other. Like, I just love it when I drive home, and if I see the van in front, I'm like, oh, she's home.
Yeah.
There's a little something inside me that does that, right? And we don't even have to talk, but just knowing she's there, right? I love telling her a corny joke, making her roll her eyes. Okay, she tells me these jokes. She laughs like you wouldn't believe. It's just absolutely wonderful. And that laugh just melts my heart. And then deep down inside, she's the one that I can cry to as well, and say, life is tough, and I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Oh, that is beautiful. I feel the same way about my spouse, that I know I can count on him.
There you go.
He is my number one supporter of everything that I do. He does all these crazy whims I go off on. He's right there supporting me all the way. And like you said, when I come home and I see the car in the garage, his car and the door, right? He's home.
Isn't it nice? Yeah, I love it. I love it. So you know what? We're at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to take a couple momentary breaks just to hear about some of the other shows here, and we're going to come back because I want to hear more. And you know, we just basically touched the B and the A, aligning your life with your values. But we're going to go further. We got about a half an hour left, so don't go away. Stay tuned in. All right. And we are back. We're back. Thank you so very much for staying tuned in to 98.3 FM, The Life. You're listening to Bacon Bits with Master Happiness. I'm your host, Marty Jalove. And today, it's just such a treat for me. This is part 3 of this 3-part series with my new friend, Bette Lawrence-Water. She is a happiness expert, a happiness coach. Just a lovely, lovely person, just filled with joy. And it's just like the room is radiating. The computers are going crazy because there's so much energy in this room. So what we've been talking a little bit about, the first 2 episodes were how do you start happiness? How do you find happiness? The second one was what are the things that are kind of get in your way? And today we're talking about how we sustain happiness. So what'll end up happening is later in this week, follow the podcast, go to baconbitsradio.com, baconbitsradio.com, and you can go there and you can find the podcast. You can find the blog post as well, so you can read up about the shows and then listen to all 3 of the shows. It just means so much. So far, the Bacon today, we've been talking about B is build daily happiness habits. We may throw in a couple more as we go along. A is align your life with your values. And we both took a couple of minutes talking about how wonderful our spouses are. You know, Bette, I view it like this. I think one of the things you and I have in common, and we're lucky to have spouses like this, I think both of us are, what I used to say this to my wife, is I'm the kite and she's the string. Okay. And it's not to say she's the one holding me down. You know, I never want it to come across that way. She's the one that's giving me stability. She's the one stopping me from flying away, right? Without the string, the kite would just fall.
That's
right. And without the kite, the string would just lay on the ground as well.
That's right.
So they're really important. They both play really important roles. And I get excited and stuff like that and want to do all these crazy things. And she is right there along with me. And so I'm so lucky. But anyway, and I know I got to meet your husband, George, here, and he seems like such a gem. And he goes on and on about you. So you're doing something right. I think it's that breakfast in bed stuff.
I think it is.
Yeah, exactly. So the C here is create a happiness toolkit. This is what I'm excited about because I know you've got a bunch of this kind of stuff. We already touched on a little bit about when we talk about trying to be happy every day, whether it's in the morning, when things are going tough for us, you know, you get bad news, you have to find a way to find happiness. You have to find a way to break through that, right? And because if you're just listening to these episodes, you're in the infancy of happiness. You're growing and you want to sustain. Don't let anything else tear you down. Keep fighting for this. So some of the things that I like is I have a favorite playlist of music I play. I have special jams that are big, exciting music that I like singing along with. You brought up the breathing exercise. I think a lot of people do gratitude journals. What are some of the other things in a toolkit? What are some of the things that people could add to a happiness toolkit?
Well, I have a wonderful circle of trusted friends.
Yes.
It's a group of women. We get together once a week or once every 2 weeks, and we break bread together, and we just offer support and love and another viewpoint that you know that you can trust. So that's very important to me.
I agree.
The other, for me, connection is very important. I think it keeps me vibrant. But there's another group I belong to, late love group, it's called.
Nice.
People who are all 60s, 70s, 80s. We get together on Zoom, and they're all over the country. And we offer support to each other. And we
Beautiful.
do basically the same thing. But at the end of those meetings with my lady friends or with my late love friends, I am so energized. And I feel like I've been reborn in those moments.
Yeah.
And very often I will hear a perspective about a particular issue maybe I'm having that I hadn't considered before.
Right.
And so that there should always be room for growth and personal improvement.
I agree. Yes.
So the other thing in my toolkit is the writing. I love writing poetry and keeping a journal. That's ever so important. It contributes to my growth. I can look back in retrospect, just as you did in the Facebook, the Google pictures. Photos I can look back and tell approximately what was happening during that time.
Okay.
And how I was strengthened by it, not brought down by it, not broken by it, but really just strengthened by it.
Yeah, I think that whole idea, that's a really important point, is especially going back to your joke, is about the optimist and the pessimist, because any single thing that happens, you can look upon it in a good light or a negative light. You can always look at anything and say, even if it was terrible, at least I learned something from it. And I grew, that idea of whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There are certain things that it's, wow, this is not physically making me stronger, but it should be making you emotionally, mentally stronger, because you're able to survive it. Okay. And so I like these additional things you're doing. I was really hoping you were going to bring up the poetry again. So when you write this poetry, who do you share the poetry with? Or is it just for you?
Well, some of it is very personal.
Yeah.
But usually I run it past my spouse to see, does this, does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to say that. But I've been writing poetry since I was pregnant with my daughter. My daughter is 60-something now.
Okay. Wow.
And one day I found this big envelope of the poetry that I wrote when she was in utero.
Okay.
And she actually broke down and cried, Mom, did you write this about me?
Yeah.
And I said, yes, I did. So the other side of that is I hope to leave a legacy. So that after I'm gone, there's a history of who I was as a person.
I love that.
She had great days. She had some that were not so great, but it never took her off course as far as her happiness, her love for other people, her giving back to the community were concerned.
I love it.
So it's a legacy.
Nice. And you know what, this leads me to something about the podcast I was listening to. I told you about, it's called Office Hours with Arthur Brooks. And I really suggest people listen to it. It's just, he is a Harvard professor, studies and teaches happiness. So it's kind of like, I'm going, wow, I'd love to meet the guy some point in time. And just have a 15-minute chat with him, which just means so much to me. But anyway, one of the things I was listening to is one of the podcasts, and he talked about the way or the direction towards happiness is this idea of savoring. Okay. And savoring means just really paying attention to something. When we think about savoring, people normally think about food. You're going to eat food.
Yeah.
But it's savoring anything and everything. And so what we're talking about is, if you eat a piece of food, feel the texture, feel the temperature, feel the taste, everything like this. And we need to savor so much in life. And the reason it made me think of this is because you talked a little bit about, past and present and future, right? And I think we need to be able to savor in all three of those time zones. And that's the way he put it. So you think back in the past and you think about a memory that brings a smile to your face, right? And just take some time. Don't just make it a fleeting memory. Go into the details. Share the story with somebody and saying, this is beyond great gratitude. This is just, it's a memory I have and it made me smile. And then talk about what's happening currently and then what's going in the future. And I'll just share three really quick because I don't want to spend all our time. I was just telling Christy about a time when we were little, living in the city of Chicago, and our house caught on fire, right? And I was little, I was elementary school, and big family. And everyone comes out, the fire department comes, and we're standing out there. And my father looks down at me and goes, "Why aren't you wearing a coat?" Because it was snow on the ground and stuff like that. And I was like, "Oh, because my coat's down in the basement." And the firemen come walking out with my coat. I laid it on the space heater, and I was the one who set the house on fire.
Oh my goodness.
And so I know I can laugh about it now. And I kind of remember going, oh, yeah, that wasn't a good idea, was it? Right. And it was just one of those things where you look back now, and I remember him looking at me going, "Where's your coat?" And me thinking, I put it on that. Oh, and the house is on fire, right?
What a story.
And luckily, it wasn't a terrible fire. We were fine. We were able to go back in the house and everything like that. But it was enough smoke and stuff like that. So that's in the past. In the present, it was so neat because, and this is going to be funny, you called me because you get here to the studio like 4 hours early. Okay. It's so funny. You're like, I'm already there. And I'm just waking up in the morning. Right. But I did some work. I have some clients to visit and stuff like that. I come home and you sent me the note and I'm like going, oh, like part of me feels like maybe I should head there and meet up with them. And I'm like, what am I going to do for 3 hours before the show? So I ended up getting my notes put together, look through them. I'm like, I'm all set. I laid down. I took a little nap. And I love a good nap. So that's my present happiness, the savoring of that, just falling asleep to the point of being able to dream, right? And now in the future, how I am savoring the future, I'm really looking forward to Saturday because I get to spend Father's Day with my kids. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that. My daughter is perfect. She said, this is what we're going to do. You have to be here at this time. We have to do this, this, and this, and lays it all out. And I'm like, oh, that's just what I want. I want you to run it. You take care of it. I have a wonderful daughter who does that. I have a wonderful wife who does that. These are the plans. And I'm like, awesome. Let's just do this.
Well, I have to give you a confession. Yeah. Timeliness is one of my values.
Oh,
so
nice.
I will always be early.
Nice.
I plan it that way.
Early. I can't imagine. The next time you come on the show, you're going to come a day early, I think. You're going to probably just stay here.
Bring my sleeping bag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I told you got to be here really no later than 6:45, and you showed up here at 3:45. Yeah, so.
But I built some happiness into that.
There you go.
Husband and I stopped off and had a lovely supper.
Yeah.
Had a few laughs, a few drinks. We did wonderful. So see,
it all works out. It works out. Right. So anyway, what I'm talking about when I tell people this idea of creating your happiness toolkit is think of those things, but then don't just look at your poetry. Don't reread a quote. Don't listen to that song. That's good enough, but savor it. Get into it and say, why do I love this song so much? Okay. When you read a poem, whether you wrote it or someone else wrote it, read into it and say, oh, now I understand why they said those words. They pick that line.
Yeah. Okay? I love that concept.
Yeah.
Just breathe it in, digest it. I love that.
Yeah. And just look at a photograph.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love looking at the photographs that are in our house of when my wife and I got married. And the two of us are together and we can relive it. And I go, remember when the photographer said, here, put your hand in your pocket like that? And I was like, I don't want to put my hand in my pocket. And he was like, no, trust me. I look at the photo. I'm like, that's a really good photo. Right. So the guy knew what he was talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
So the idea is anything and everything that we can, if it's going to bring us some joy, why not really just suck it all in, right? Yeah. Savor it to no end. Don't let it go. Don't let it disappear. All right. So I'm rushing here. O is going to be observe life's ups and downs without losing yourself. Okay. And this is again about the optimism and pessimism, right? We are going to have ups. We are going to have downs. My feeling, and I tell everyone, is this: you do understand life is all that. It's ups and downs and ups and downs. Mm-hmm. If you were happy 100% of the time, all the time, never ending, you wouldn't understand what happiness was.
You wouldn't understand.
You have nothing to compare it to.
And no one could sustain that.
Oh my gosh, no.
You drive yourself crazy. I like to think of it that happiness is not the absence of hard times.
Yes.
But it's your capacity to remain present through all of it.
I love it.
Try to find the good in whatever the bad things happening to you, bad things happen to good people, but there's always a lesson. There's always something that you can pull from that will make you a better person, make you a stronger person, more caring person, more understanding.
I love it. Yep. You're absolutely right. So I like this idea of comparing our life to a roller coaster. You know, there's these ups and downs on the roller coaster. And bear with me with this is I think it's the going uphill to the top, where we're picturing happiness is at the top, right? The uphill is the work we do to be happy, the stuff we have to do, right? And I think when we can learn to enjoy the work that is leading towards what we picture as happiness, if we can learn to enjoy that, that is where the thrill is. Because when you think about riding a roller coaster, there is a certain thrill of going up, right? And it's that nervous energy. It is not, the happiness isn't at the top. That's a whole different feeling. That's oh my God, we're about to go.
Yeah.
And then you start going down and you feel a different type of glee. Now in life, it's the same thing. If we can learn to truly enjoy that going up, and knowing when we're at the top and things are really happy, like we're looking forward to our birthday, let's say. I'm working towards it and it's like, oh, I can't wait. It's, 5 more days. Oh, it's 4 more days to my birthday. That's the working up to it. And when it happens, say to yourself, my birthday is only one day. It's fleeting. It's going to disappear. This is going to pass. So live in the moment, enjoy it. Don't dwell on it disappearing. And then when you're heading back down and you're away from that, this is where people are like, well, then I'm going to be sad. No, understand that this is where you bring in all that gratitude and you say, I want to dwell in the stuff that I got to experience, all that fun. And when I'm at the bottom of the hill and things are terrible, say the same thing. This will pass. This is fleeting. Very soon, I'm heading back up again.
That's right.
And I think we just concentrate and we look at every part of that roller coaster as some positive, some happiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take control of that anxiety towards something positive and realize that what's happening. I think that's what, for me, it's the fear.
Okay.
As we start out in anticipation of, I don't know.
Yeah.
But once we're on that road down and it feels I'm so joyful. I'm safe. Yep. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
I get out of the car and I'm bouncing. I'm ready.
Right. So I do this thing when I would teach kids, especially. I would ask them when I'm teaching kids presentation skills, and it's the same thing, is that every amusement park has roller coasters and they have a train that goes around the park, right?
Yeah.
And they're both, when you think about them, they're very similar. They're both cars with little wheels riding on a track, right? One of them is so exciting that you have to be belted in. The other one, no big deal. You just sit there. One of them, you have to be a certain height or a certain age, a certain health in order to get on them. The other one, anyone can go on them, right? Both of them, you can go through life at the top of the roller coaster. You look down, you can see the entire park.
Yeah.
The train goes around, you see the whole park. So everything is the same. But which is the one that as soon as you're off, you run to and you want to do it again?
Yeah.
No one gets off the train and runs back in line and goes, I want to go on the train one more time, right? As well as nobody or very few people can name a train in an amusement park, but they can name their favorite roller coaster. No one ever says, oh yeah, there's that train called blah, 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 XYZ train. No, but they remember Batman the Ride, Superman, Thunder Mountain. They remember all of these because that's the excitement. So we need the ups and the downs in life to make it exciting.
And that train isn't going to cause you to scream with glee.
Exactly. Right. It'll get you to where you're going.
Yeah.
But who wants to live a life like that?
Taking the safe route. Yeah.
No, do something.
I agree.
Enjoy the ups and the downs. Right. Okay. And as we're getting close to the end here, this is fine. N is going to be this: nurture meaningful connections. And I think you already talked about this a little bit, is those relationships we have. We talked about the 3 different types of friendships: those utility friends, the pleasure friends, and the values friends. And I think it's really important for us to understand all of our friends, where they fit in. And it's not bad that they don't fit in, like the values friends. We can't have everyone in that group, right? I have a good friend of mine who's been on the show a couple times. We laughed together and I explained the 3 parts and he goes, really? And I said, I don't picture you in the values friend. And he was like, thank goodness. I don't want to be in that. He goes, he just wants to have a good time. So he's definitely my pleasure friend. Yeah. And it's fine. I have plenty of friends who are utility friends that we have a good time with. But I have a treasured few that are those values friends, those people that I can reach out to, and many of my friends jump from bucket to bucket to bucket. Yeah. Tomorrow morning, I get to spend the morning. I'm going to have brunch with my brother, Joe, who's another one of those just really special person. I just don't spend enough time with him, So how do you nurture those meaningful connections? What do you do?
Well, that is very important to me. Just this past Saturday, I was asked to MC a special program. Comes once a year, in June, and it's called Race Amity Day. And it invites people of all backgrounds, ethnicities, ages to get together and get to know each other better. And in Naperville, we held it, and we have it each year. This is our 5th year. And we do exercises that cause you come out of your comfort zone.
Okay, good.
We're all kind of stuck, you come in a room and nobody recognizes you or knows you. So we put them through various exercises. I found that I made 5 new friends that day. And everybody, the mission was for everyone to connect with at least 5 new people that they didn't know. And it builds community.
Yep.
It builds connection. And we all came away, we broke bread together, and we all came away just saying, this was a lovely, lovely evening.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. So
that's excellent.
You have to nurture these kinds of results by the actions that you do.
Certainly.
You have to nurture that. It's not going to just come to you. People are not going to come to you, but if they feel you're open and that you are someone that is likable, they will come up to you.
Right. Yeah. And so part of this nurturing those connections was, I think on the one of the previous shows we talked about this, is during COVID, it was one of the things I had done. I'd started, and I should just do it again, just because I didn't need to do it just in COVID. But it was, I had 2 different names. One was spin the dial, share a smile, or take a spin, share a grin. Okay. And what it was you take your phone, right? You open your contact list and you pick a number like 13, and you take your phone and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way 13. In other words, let the phone spin, and wherever it stops, call that person. You have their phone number in your phone for some reason, right? And you call them up, and it was the coolest thing to call these people at random. And some of them were like customers or things like that. And they were like, "Oh, Marty, we are not buying anything right now, blah, blah." I'm like, "No, I didn't call about that. I'm just calling to see how are you doing."
Excellent.
Right? And people were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I had some of the greatest conversations with people. And the scary part is when you get to a number and it's just all it is the number, and you don't have a name or anything. And you're like, "Oh, well, I put the number in my phone." Right? So let me call this person. And you end up reconnecting with people. And it doesn't mean that it's your new best friend in the world, but it's somebody who maybe at that moment needed to hear a friendly voice.
That's right. You never know.
Yeah. And I think that's so important in this nurturing meaningful connections. So we're getting down to the end, and I hogged the whole show because it's my show and I'm going to do that.
Well, you do it. Hey,
but there's a few last minutes. Are there any things in your notes that you really wanted to share with people?
Well, I took a look at some centenarians.
Yes.
People who are 100 and over, and suggestions that they've made for maintaining happiness.
Awesome. We got time. Go for it. We got
okay. Look forward, not backwards. Always focus on the present moment and eagerly anticipate the future.
I love it.
Even at 100 years old.
Yeah.
Avoid petty arguments. Let go of negativity. Avoid holding a chip on your shoulder. Try to fix problems instead of complaining. Try to see the bright side. Maintain a good sense of humor. Learn to laugh at yourself and smile more. Even just to smile more.
Exactly.
It makes a big difference. The other one is love people. Find something to like in everyone you meet. Build strong and positive relationships. Distance yourself from negativity. Sometimes you just have to walk away from it.
I love it. Yeah.
And then, zeroing in, stay busy. Have purpose and activity. Find something to do every day, whether it's a hobby, art, listening to music. Keep moving, if it's walking or just sitting in a chair and lifting your legs. Keep your brain active and sharp, your mind active and sharp by reading or learning new skills. And lastly, accept yourself. Self-acceptance. Find satisfaction Do something for yourself every single day. If it's just one thing, if it's just taking out a dab of hand lotion and putting it on your dry hands, crusty hands.
Nice.
Do something for yourself every day. And these are suggestions that were made by people who were 100 and over.
I'm absolutely loving it. Thank you so much for that list. That's beautiful.
I hope to be on that list someday.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So with this, as we're closing out the show, a couple little things as I want to remind people is build your own happiness toolkit. Okay, do something. Find a photograph that you really love that you want to see, let's say every morning. That photograph that's sitting on your desk, make it intentional so you look at this and savor it. Okay, whether it's to photograph a piece of jewelry you're looking at. I have on my desk, it's really cool. I have a little doily, okay, that just sits there in the corner, and actually the charging pad for my phone sits on it. Not a cup or anything, but it's a little doily that my grandmother made and gave to probably my aunt or my sister. My sister gave it to me, and it's just a memory of where I came from, and it's beautiful. Those little things, and it means more to me than just a coaster. It is a memory. It means something. So we have to learn to savor those things. So the first thing is, remember, think about that. If you have a favorite quote or something, say it every once in a while. All right. If you've got a piece of poetry, say it every once in a while, but dig into it. All right. The other thing is try to create the activity too. I want us all to do is when we're talking about sustaining happiness is create a ritual, something you're going to do. If it's first thing in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I'm darn good looking, whatever it is, go take a walk. Do something other than compare yourself to people on the phone. All right. Do a 10-minute walk, read something, take some time for yourself, listen to some good music. Okay. Do something in a positive vein. All right. And then the values check-in is constantly keep going back through your values. What's important to you? For me, one of my key values is happiness. I really want to live in a world where I can make people happy and people can make me happy. Okay. When people are down, I want to bring a little joy into their life. And if I can see the spark of a smile in them, then I know I've done my job. And in return, they've made me happy. Maybe health, maybe kindness, creativity, any of those things could be your values. When you do that, start doing a check-in and say, what am I doing every day to stay within my values, but also to exploit and expand upon my values? All right. That's how I want to end the show. Bette, once again, thank you so very much. It has been such a pleasure to have you. And I can't wait because we're going to come back. You're coming back. You're going to come back as long as he's willing. I think he loves the green room because it's a great place for him to take a nap.
Is he asleep?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you just wait. All right. But as long as he's willing to drive, you come back all the time. All right. And everyone out there, thank you so much. Did you want to say goodbye to everyone?
Yes. We love you guys.
Love it. Love it. All right. So tune in later in the week. Listen to the entire episode. Thank you so very much. And everyone out there, I guess, keep on sizzling.